Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special event from the Icebox Radio Theater, Oh Christmas Stream. That's right, we're going to present you with a little diversion in this holiday season. The pictures you've seen, of course, are live. They're coming from the living room of Studio 908. That's our home and studio here in International Falls, Minnesota. It's very cold outside, about 10 degrees currently. And we are here to give you pictures live of this wonderful Christmas tree and all that might happen around it, as well as some of the best from the holiday offerings of the Icebox Radio Theater. And we're going to begin today with actually the first live show we ever did of any type here at the IBRT. The year was 2004. We'd only been founded about 3 or 4 months earlier, and we were requested by a local church to do a show, to provide the entertainment, I should say, for their holiday party, and we suggested a radio play of A Christmas Carol. This stars Neil Smith as Scrooge, and literally a cast of a dozen or more people. I couldn't hope to remember them all, so just wait until the credits at the end of the show to hear more about that then. So here is, from December of 2004, A Christmas Carol, from the Icebox Radio Theater.
Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. Yet Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name on office door. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone. Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, covetous old sinner, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck at generous fire. Secret and self-contained, and solitary as an oyster.
£4, 6pence.
Once upon a time, with all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy withal, and he could hear the people in the court outside go wheezing up and down, beating their hands upon their breasts and stamping their feet upon the pavement stones to warm them. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open that he might keep his eye upon his clerk, who in a dismal little cell beyond was copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like one coal. The clerk put on his white scarf and tried to warm himself at his candle, in which effort, not being a man of a strong imagination, he failed.
Afternoon, Bob, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Good afternoon, sir. The same to you and your lovely wife.
Is the oyster in? Aha!
The visitor on the most unforgiving of afternoons was Scrooge's nephew, a chap as bright as Scrooge was dim.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Christmas. Bah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I am sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug.
Come, don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone, then. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, Christmas among the rest. But I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time, the only time I know of when men and women open their shut-up hearts freely and think of people below them as fellow passengers to the grave, and on another race bound on a different journey. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
Hear, hear.
Let me hear another sound from you, Mr. Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see you in hell first.
But why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because he fell in love. Good afternoon.
You cannot say my marriage is what kept you from my door, when you never came to see me before I married. Dine with us tomorrow.
Good afternoon.
Very well. I am sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute, but I have made this traveling homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to last. So Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
Oh, and there was one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
The clerk, in letting Scrooge's nephew out, had let 2 other people in. They were elderly ladies, pleasant to behold, and now stood expectantly in Scrooge's office.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley died 7 years ago this very night.
Our sympathies, sir. We have no doubt Mr. Marley's liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
His liberality and mine were virtually identical. You may leave now.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and the destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time.
Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, though, I wish I could say they were not.
Oh, I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful purpose.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because Christmas is when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. Those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
But Mr. Scrooge...
This is none of my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with others. Good afternoon.
Seeing clearly that it would be useless to pursue their point, the ladies withdrew. Scrooge resumed his labours with an improved opinion of himself. The fog and darkness outside thickened, and the cold became intense. At length the hour of trotting up Scrooge's counting-house arrived. Scrooge lived in a gloomy house set so far from the street that one could scarcely help fancying it must have run there when it was a young house and forgotten the way out again. It was old enough now, though, and dreary enough, for nobody lived in it but Scrooge. Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large. It is also a fact that Scrooge had as little of what is called fancy about him as any man in the city of London. All the worse for Scrooge, who, without any fancy or imagination inside his grizzled old head, was utterly without explanation for what he was about to see.
Cold. Home. And locked doors. With a Merry Christmas safely outside. What's that? The knocker.
Scrooge.
Marley?
Scrooge.
Marley? Bah! Is anybody there? Nobody under the table. The bed, nobody. Fire is lit. Dressing gown here on the hook where it always is. Stupid old man. Humbug. Just sit by the fire. You didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything. What's that? Not that servant's bell. Surely it hasn't been connected to anything in years. Ha! My ears! My ears! No! That sounds as if it's coming from the basement. The door? Locked? Yes, it can't get in. It can't get in. It can't.
Scrooge.
It can't. I say. It can't, I say.
Scrooge.
I know him. It is Marley's ghost.
And it was Marley. Marley in his pigtail, waistcoat, tights and boots. There was an immense chain clasped about his middle. It was long and wound about him like a tail, and it was made of cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers, deeds, and heavy purses wrought in steel.
How now? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Humbug.
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. Dreadful apparition. Why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do. That is to say, I think I do believe in you. I must. But why do spirits walk the earth? And why have they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life as I did not, it is condemned to do so after death. I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard. Is its pattern strange to you?
It is the strangest thing I've ever beheld.
Would you know the weight and the length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it since. Yours, Scrooge, is a ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob Marley, speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. Comfort comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers. In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole, and now weary journeys lie before me.
But, Jacob, it can't be as bad as that. You were always a good man of business.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. Oh, at this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Why did I walk through the crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to that blessed star which led the wise men to a poor abode? Were there no poor heart to which its light would have conducted me?
Is there anything I can do, Jacob?
Hear me. My time is nearly gone. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
You were always a good friend to me. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path that I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over with?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and for your own sake remember what has passed between us.
But Jacob...
Remember...
As Scrooge watched, the spectre tied a large band-aid, as wispy and transparent as the rest of him, around his head in such a way as to clap his jaw shut tight. Then it walked backward from Scrooge, and at every step it took, the window at the far end of the room raised itself a little, so that when the spectre reached it, it was wide open.
What's that, Jacob? You want me to come closer?
Scrooge approached, terror visible in his every member. When they were within 2 paces of each other, Marley's ghost held up its hand, warning him to come no nearer. Scrooge became suddenly and horribly aware of confused noises in the air outside the window. Marley, after listening for a moment, joined in the mournful dirge and floated out of the window upon the bleak dark night. Scrooge, his curiosity getting the better of him, followed to the window and looked out. The air was filled with phantoms, wandering hither and thither in restless haste, and moaning as they went. Every one of them wore chains like Marley's ghost, and the misery with them all was, clearly, that they sought to interfere, for good, in human matters, and had lost the power to do so, forever.
Gone. Impossible. Bah, humbug. I'll get the bed curtains. There. Perfectly safe. Dull conversation, anyway. What? One. The bell tolls once. The spirit. Jacob had said it would appear at 1. Nothing. Nothing, of course. Humbug, that's all it is. The curtains. Something is out there.
And while Scrooge watched, the curtains of his bed were drawn aside by a hand. Scrooge found himself face to face with a strange figure, like a child, or moreover, like an old man who had been diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special event from the Icebox Radio Theater, Oh Christmas Stream. That's right, we're going to present you with a little diversion in this holiday season. The pictures you've seen, of course, are live. They're coming from the living room of Studio 908. That's our home and studio here in International Falls, Minnesota. It's very cold outside, about 10 degrees currently. And we are here to give you pictures live of this wonderful Christmas tree and all that might happen around it, as well as some of the best from the holiday offerings of the Icebox Radio Theater. And we're going to begin today with actually the first live show we ever did of any type here at the IBRT. The year was 2004. We'd only been founded about 3 or 4 months earlier. And we were requested by a local church to do a show, to provide the entertainment, I should say, for their holiday party, and we suggested a radio play of A Christmas Carol. This stars Neil Smith as Scrooge, and literally a cast of a dozen or more people. I couldn't hope to remember them all, so just wait until the credits at the end of the show to hear more about that then. So here is, from December of 2004, A Christmas Carol, from the Icebox Radio Theater.
Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. Yet Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name on the office door. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone. Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, covetous old sinner, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck that generous fire. Secret and self-contained, and solitary as an oyster.
£4, 6
Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy withal, and he could hear the people in the court outside go wheezing up and down, beating their hands upon their breasts and stamping their feet upon the pavement stones to warm them. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open, that he might keep his eye upon his clerk, who in a dismal little cell beyond was copying letters. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like one coal. The clerk put on his white scarf and tried to warm himself at his candle, in which effort, not being a man of a strong imagination, he failed.
Afternoon, Bob, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Good afternoon, sir. The same to you and your lovely wife.
Is the oyster in? Aha!
The visitor on the most unforgiving of afternoons was Scrooge's nephew, a chap as bright as Scrooge was dim.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Christmas. Bah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I am sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug.
Come, don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone, then. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, Christmas among the rest. But I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time, the only time I know of when men and women open their shut-up hearts freely and think of people below them as fellow passengers to the grave, and on another race bound on a different journey. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
Hear, hear.
Let me hear another sound from you, Mr. Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see you in hell first.
But why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because he fell in love. Good afternoon.
You cannot say my marriage is what kept you from my door, when you never came to see me before I married. Dine with us tomorrow.
Good afternoon.
Very well. I am sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute, but I have made this trial in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to last. So Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
Oh, and there was one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
The clerk, in letting Scrooge's nephew out, had let two other people in. They were elderly ladies, pleasant to behold, and now stood expectantly in Scrooge's office.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have we the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley died 7 years ago this very night.
Our sympathies, sir. We have no doubt Mr. Marley's liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
His liberality and mine were virtually identical. You may leave now.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and the destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time.
Many thousands are in want of common necessaries. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, though, I wish I could say they were not.
Oh, I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their useful purpose.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because Christmas is when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make Idle people marry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. Those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
But Mr. Scrooge...
This is none of my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with others. Good afternoon.
Seeing clearly that it would be useless to pursue their point, the ladies withdrew. Scrooge resumed his labours with an improved opinion of himself. The fog and darkness outside thickened, and the cold became intense. At length the hour of trotting up Scrooge's counting-house arrived. Scrooge lived in a gloomy house set so far from the street that one could scarcely help fancying it must have run there when it was a young house and forgotten the way out again. It was old enough now, though, and dreary enough, for nobody lived in it but Scrooge. Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was very large. It is also a fact that Scrooge had as little of what is called fancy about him as any man in the city of London. All the worse for Scrooge, who, without any fancy or imagination inside his grizzled old head, was utterly without explanation for what he was about to see.
Cold. Home. And locked doors. With a Merry Christmas safely outside. What's that? The knocker.
Scrooge.
Marley?
Scrooge.
Marley? Bah! Is anybody there? Nobody under the table. The bed, nobody. Fire is lit. Dressing gown here on the hook where it always is. Stupid old man. Humbug. Just sit by the fire. You didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything. What's that? Not that servant's bell. Surely it hasn't been connected to anything in years. My ears! My ears! No! That sounds as if it's coming from the basement. The door? Locked? Yes, it can't get in. It can't get in. It can't.
Scrooge.
It can't. I say. It can't, I say.
Scrooge.
I know him. It is Marley's ghost.
And it was Marley. Marley in his pigtail waistcoat, tights and boots. There was an immense chain clasped about his middle. It was long and wound about him like a tail, and it was made of cash boxes, keys, padlocks, ledgers, deeds, and heavy purses wrought in steel.
How now? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Humbug.
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are.
Ah!
Dreadful apparition. Why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do. That is to say, I think I... I do believe in you. I must. But why do spirits walk the earth? And why have they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life as I did not, it is condemned to do so after death. I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard. Is its pattern strange to you?
It is the strangest thing I've ever beheld.
Would you know the weight and the length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it since. Yours, Scrooge, is a ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob Marley, speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. Comfort comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers. In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole, and now weary journeys lie before me.
But, Jacob, it can't be as bad as that. You were always a good man of business.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. Oh, at this time of the rolling year, I suffer most. Why did I walk through the crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to that blessed star which led the wise men to a poor abode? Were there no poor heart to which its light would have conducted me?
Is there anything I can do, Jacob?
Hear me. My time is nearly gone. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
You were always a good friend to me. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path that I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over with?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and for your own sake remember what has passed between us.
But Jacob...
Remember...
As Scrooge watched, the spectre tied a large band-aid, as wispy and transparent as the rest of him, around his head in such a way as to clap his jaw shut tight. Then it walked backward from Scrooge, and at every step it took, the window at the far end of the room raised itself a little, so that when the spectre reached it, it was wide open.
What's that, Jacob? You want me to come closer?
Scrooge approached, terror visible in his every member. When they were within 2 paces of each other, Marley's ghost held up its hand, warning him to come no nearer. Scrooge became suddenly and horribly aware of confused noises in the air outside the window. Marley, after listening for a moment, joined in the mournful dirge and floated out of the window upon the bleak dark night. Scrooge, his curiosity getting the better of him, followed to the window and looked out. The air was filled with phantoms, wandering hither and thither in restless haste, and moaning as they went. Every one of them wore chains like Marley's ghost, and the misery with them all was, clearly, that they sought to interfere, for good, in human matters, and had lost the power to do so, forever.
Gone. Impossible. Bah! Humbug! I'll get the bed curtains. perfectly safe. Dull conversation, anyway. What? One. The bell tolls once. The spirit. Jacob had said it would appear at 1. Nothing. Nothing, of course. Humbug, that's all it is. The curtains. Something is out there.
And while Scrooge watched, the curtains of his bed were drawn aside by a hand. Scrooge found himself face to face with a strange figure, like a child, or moreover, like an old man who had been diminished to a child's proportions. Its hair, which hung about its neck and down its back, was white as if with age, and yet the face had not a wrinkle in it. It wore a tunic of the purest white, and round its waist was bound a lustrous belt, the sheen of which was beautiful. It held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, and in singular contradiction of that wintry emblem, had its dress trimmed with summer flowers.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Well, be that as it may, what business have you here?
Your welfare.
Oh, I'm much obliged, but I cannot help thinking but that a night of unbroken rest would have been more conducive to my welfare.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed, rise, and walk with me. The spirit reached out and took Scrooge by the arm. The grasp, though gentle as a woman's hand, was not to be resisted.
Where are we going?
Out the window, of course.
Oh, but I am mortal and liable to fall.
Bear but to touch my hand there on your heart. And you shall be upheld in more than this. As these words were spoken, they passed out the window of Scrooge's bedchamber and stood in a tiny schoolroom. It was a winter's afternoon, cold and snowy outside. Inside the room there sat a solitary boy. Do you recognize him?
Yes, I do.
You, as a young boy, you were lonely.
I had my books.
Indeed, you once loved Alibaba and Robinson Crusoe.
I love them all, or did.
You spent many Christmases here, at school.
Not by choice, Spirit. My father and I didn't get along.
Let us see another Christmas. Upon that very moment and memory, Scrooge discovered the scene melting away before him yet again. They were now in the busy thoroughfares of a city. The ghost stopped at a certain warehouse door. Do you know this place?
Know it. I was apprenticed here. It is. It's old Fezziwig's. And there he is, bless his heart. It's Fezziwig alive again.
Yo-ho there, Ebenezer. Dick, no more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have this all cleared away before a man can say Jack Robinson.
Clear away? There was nothing that couldn't have cleared away with old Fezziwig looking on. It was done in a minute, transforming the warehouse into one vast hall, seemingly made for dancing. Presently, all the people associated with Fezziwig's business came in, each carrying a jug of wine or platter of the most delectable food, until a large table reserved for that purpose had accepted them all, forming a pile quite as high as Scrooge's head. And after all had eaten and drunk to their heart's content, they commenced to dance. During the whole of this time, Scrooge had acted like a man out of his wits. His heart and soul were in the scene. It was not until the guests had retired, and the bright faces of his former self and Dick were turned from them, that she remembered the ghost. A small amount to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Why is it not? He spent but a few pounds of your moral money, 3 or more perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that, Spirit. He has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Something, I think.
No. I should like to be able to say a word or two to my own clerk just now, that's all.
My time grows short. Quickly. The scene changed, and once again Scrooge saw himself. He was older now, a man in the prime of his life. His face had not the harsh and rigid lines of latter years, but had begun to wear the signs of care and nervous. There was an eager, greedy, restless motion in the eye, which showed the passion that had taken root, and where the shadow of the growing tree would fall. Do you know where we are?
Yes.
Scrooge was not alone, but sat by the side of a fair young girl in a mourning dress, in whose eyes there were tears.
It matters little, to you very little. Another idol has displaced me.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing it professes to condone with such severity as the pursuit of wealth.
I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one, until the master passion gain and grosses you.
I am not changed towards you, am I?
You have changed in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? I thought so. I release you, Ebenezer. I release you with a full heart for the love of him you once were.
Go after her, you fool. Go after her. Spirit, show me no more. Take me from this place.
I told you. These were the shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are. It's not my fault, but yours.
Remove me. I cannot bear it. What? This is what? My bedchamber. Spirit? Nobody. It was a dream. That's what it was, a dream. One. The clock tolls one again. That's impossible. It had just struck one when the ghost arrived. Have I slept through the day and into the night? Is it 1 in the afternoon and something has happened to the sun? Light. Light. Shining from the room next door. Perhaps if I just stayed in bed.
Ebenezer Scrooge!
Oh, dear.
Ebenezer Scrooge, come forth.
Oh, merciful heaven.
Scrooge opened the door and found the room next to his own was transformed. The walls and ceiling were hung with living green. Crisp leaves of holly, mistletoe, and ivy reflected back the light, as if so many little mirrors had been scattered everywhere, and heaped upon the floor to form a kind of throne were turkeys, geese, game, poultry, brawn, great joints of meat, sucking pigs, long wreaths of sausages, mince pies, plum puddings, bells of oysters, red-hot chestnuts, cherry-cheeked apples, juicy oranges, luscious pears, immense 12 cakes, and seething bowls of punch. In easy state upon his couch, there sat a jolly giant,
Ho, 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 ho!
who was glorious to see. He bore a glowing torch in shape not unlike Plenty's horn, and held it up high up to shed its light upon Scrooge.
Come in, and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. It's been many a Christmas since you've seen my kind, but I dare say you'll have a difficult job ignoring me, eh?
Indeed, I won't deny it, Spirit. I went forth last night on compulsion and learnt a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge did as he was told and held it fast. In an instant, the splendid room vanished, and Scrooge found himself on the city streets on a clear, snowy morning. All around him, from the happy faces of the people to the brilliantly decorated shops to the very air that seemed to hang upon the scene like a palatable glow, it was obvious even to Scrooge that it was Christmas time. Presently, he and the ghost came to a rundown, though was yet still habitable section of the city, and slipped, as if made of mist, through the door of a house into the bleak, cramped rooms beyond.
Do you not even know this place, Scrooge?
I should say not.
Mother, we've been outside the baker's.
The goose, we smelled it.
Calm down, my dears. What has ever got your precious father, then, and your brother, Tiny Tim?
Here, Mother, they're coming now.
Here, loves.
Father.
Cratchit, this is his house?
Of course. Would you expect a mansion on his salary?
Let me set Tiny Tim by the fire.
That child, is it Cratchit's?
Of course.
It must be ill.
The breath of life in him is very weak.
So how was he?
As good as gold and better. He told me coming home that he hoped the people saw him in the church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Oh, you must be freezing. Here, there's punch above the fire.
An excellent idea. A toast. Gather round, my dears. There. A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Spirit, tell me, will this small boy live?
I see a vacant seat in the chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No. Oh, no, kind spirit. Say he will be spared.
What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Oh, Spirit.
Mr. Scrooge. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
Bob Cratchit.
My dear?
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon.
My dear, the children. Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks to the health of an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. No one knows it better than you do.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink to his health for your sake and the day's, but not for his. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
To Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
My Uncle Scrooge.
What? Where are we?
It would be a man such as you that would not know the house of his own kin. Look, Scrooge, your nephew stands before you.
He said that Christmas was a humbug. As I live, he believed it too.
More shame for him, Fred.
Your niece?
By marriage, yes.
He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth. And not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him.
I'm sure he is very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
What of that, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it, and he hasn't the satisfaction of thinking that he's ever going to benefit us with it.
Well, I have no patience with him.
Oh, who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come down with us. What's the consequence? He doesn't lose much of a dinner.
Indeed, I think he loses a very good dinner.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it.
Whatever his reasons, I'm sure Uncle Scrooge wouldn't want us carrying on about him behind his back, Fred. Let's have a game!
Yeah.
And the games began, for it is good to be children sometimes, and never better than at Christmas, when its mighty founder was a child himself. There was blind man's bluff and forfeits, and how, when, and where, and Scrooge himself fell to play in the games, though his voice made no sound in the revellers' ears. He sometimes came out with his guess quite loud, and very often guessed quite right.
You are enjoying the party?
I don't know when I've had such a good time.
We must depart.
Oh, no. Look, just one more game. They're starting yes and no.
You start, Fred.
Very well. I've got one.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
A large one?
No, not very big, very fierce.
Now, Fred, yes or no answers only, please.
Your pardon, my love.
Is it a bear?
No.
Does it have big teeth?
Yes.
And you said it was fierce.
Oh, yes.
Does it grow?
Like anything.
Does it live in London?
Yes.
I know.
What?
It's Uncle Scrooge!
Foul, I say foul.
What is it, Topper?
You said it wasn't a bear.
A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge!
Uncle Scrooge! Scrooge had imperceptibly become so gay and light of heart that he would have thanked the company in an inaudible speech if the ghost had given him time, but the whole scene passed off in an instant. And he and the spirit were again upon their travellers. They stood beside sick beds, and the sick were cheerful on foreign lands, and they were close at home by struggling men, and they were patient in their greater hope by poverty, and it was rich. In every house the spirit left his blessing and taught Scrooge his precepts. It was a long night, for while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
Are spirits' lives so short?
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight at midnight.
Forgive me if I am not justified in what I ask, but I see something strange down around your feet. Is it a foot or a claw?
It might be a claw for the flesh there is upon it. Look here, Scrooge.
The spirit revealed two children, a boy and a girl clinging to his feet. Where graceful youth should have filled their features, a stale and shriveled hand like that of age had pinched and twisted them. Where angels might have sat enthroned, devils lurked and glared out menacing.
Spirit? Are they yours?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. This boy is ignorance, this girl is want. Beware them both and all of their degree. But most of all, beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doom, unless the writing be erased.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Spirit! Spirit, come back! Home again. My bedchamber again. Jacob said there would be three.
Before Scrooge stood a great figure. It was shrouded in deep black garment, which concealed everything save one outstretched hand, as thin and as white as bone. It towered above Scrooge and approached him like mist rolling across the water.
I am in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You are about to show me the shadows of things that have not happened but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Will you not speak to me? Lead on, then, Spirit.
The phantom moved away as it had come, and Scrooge followed in the shadow of its dress, which bore him up and carried him along. Presently they came to an obscure part of the town, to a low-browed beetling shop where iron, old rags, bottles, bones, and greasy offal were bought and sold. Sitting in among the wares by a charcoal stove made of old bricks was a grey-haired rascal, nearly 70 years of age. Scrooge and the phantom came into the presence of this man, just as a woman with a heavy bundle slunk into the shop. She had scarcely entered when another woman, similarly laden, came in too.
What odds, then? What odds, Mrs. Dilber? Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
That's true indeed. No one more so.
Spirit, why have you brought me to this place? I fail to understand. I see the rags they're holding, but what impact do they have on me?
Undo my bundle first, Joe.
Right then. What do you call this? Bed curtains?
Of course, bed curtains.
You don't mean to tell them you took them down, rings and all, with them lying there?
Yes, I do. Why not?
You were born to make your fortune.
Look, she got his blankets, too.
I certainly shan't hold back my hand for the sake of such a man as he was. Oh, and that shirt you're holding. You may look through it till your eyes ache, but you won't find a hole in it. It's the best he had. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you call wasting of it?
Why, burying him in it, of course.
Spirit, forgive me, but I don't understand. These people and their strange commerce are foreign to me. Can you clarify what it is you're trying to say? Oh, merciful heaven. What is this?
Scrooge recoiled in terror, for the scene had changed, and now he found himself before a bed, a bare, uncurtained bed, on which, beneath the ragged sheet, there lay something which, though it was dumb, announced itself in awful language.
Spirit, what is this? Who is this? You point to the head. I understand, Spirit. You want me to pull back the sheet, but you must answer me my question first.
Still, the spirit pointed at the head. A cat was tearing at the door, and there was a sound of gnawing rats beneath the hearthstone. What they wanted in the room of death, and why they were so restless and disturbed, Scrooge did not dare to think.
Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson. Trust me. Let us go.
No.
I understand you. You want me to pull back the sheet and look upon the mad man who lies here on this table. I would do it if I could, but I have not the power. Spirit, I have not the power.
No.
Oh, please, Spirit. If there is any person in this town who feels emotion caused by this man's death, show that person to me, Spirit. I beseech you.
The spirit seemed to contemplate Scrooge for a moment, then spread its dark robe like a wing, and withdrawing it, revealed the room by daylight, where Mother and her children were.
That'll be your father, then.
Hello, loves.
Here, sit by the fire. Is the news good or bad?
There is hope yet, Caroline.
How can there be hope unless that miserly old skinflint has relented? Has such a miracle happened?
He is past relenting. He is dead.
Dad.
Last night, when I tried to go see him to obtain a week's delay, what I thought was a mere excuse to avoid me turns out to have been quite true. He was not only very ill, but dying then.
To whom will our debt be transferred?
I don't know, but before that time we shall be ready with the money, and even if we are not, it would be bad fortune indeed to find so merciless a creditor in his successor. We may sleep tonight with light hearts, Caroline, glad hearts.
It was obvious to Scrooge that for everyone in the room a burden had been lifted. The children's faces, hushed and clustered round to hear what they so little understood, were brighter, and it was a happier house for this man's death.
Spectre, something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I do not know how. Tell me, who was that man we saw lying dead? The churchyard.
The spirit pointed down to one headstone. Scrooge advanced towards it, trembling.
Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or are they shadow of things that may be only? Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, it's true, but if those courses be changed, departed from, the ends will change, will they not? The stone, yes. The name upon it. The name? Ebenezer Scrooge. No, Spirit. Oh, no, Spirit. Hear me. I am not the man I once was. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Oh, good Spirit, assure me that I may yet change these shadows you have shown me. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past and the present and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone. Spirit, I pray to Almighty God, help me.
Holding up his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed, Scrooge saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost.
What? The bed? The bed. My bed! The curtains, they're not torn down. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven in the Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, old Jacob, on my knees. Oh, cold. Oh, much too cold to kneel. Why did I not ever put a decent fire in this place? Oh, no matter, it's morning. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. Ah, Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. Wait. The church bells. Could it be? Oh, glorious day. Sunshine, snow, and all. Hello, you there.
Eh?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today, why, Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Ha! Do you know the Poulters in the next street by the corner?
I should hope I did.
Oh, an intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there, the big one?
What, the one as big as me?
Oh, delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it.
Go on.
No. No, I'm earnest. Go and buy it and tell them to bring it here. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's, that's what I'll do. He shan't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Oh, come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown.
Yes, sir.
The boy was off like a shot and back again, with the poulter, turkey, and all in tow. Scrooge paid for the turkey and remunerated the boy, and paid for a cab to have the turkey delivered, with such a look of utter delight on his face that the poulter, to whom Scrooge was well known, could scarcely believe his eyes. Then Scrooge retired to his apartment, where he shaved, as best he could while dancing, and dressed in his finest. Within minutes he was out upon the cheery, snowy streets of Yuletide London, giving a call of Merry Christmas to everyone he met.
Merry Christmas!
He went to church and walked about the streets and watched the people hurrying to and fro. He patted children on the head and questioned beggars, and looked down into the kitchens of houses and found that everything could yield him pleasure. He had never dreamed that any walk, that anything could give him so much happiness. In the afternoon he turned his steps towards his nephew's house. He passed the door a dozen times before he had the courage to go up and knock, but he made a dash and did it.
Uncle Scrooge?
Uncle Scrooge!
I've come to dinner, my boy, if you'll have me.
I don't know what to say, Uncle.
Then say Merry Christmas, Fred. And my dear.
Yes. Uncle Scrooge?
To you I must apologize. I have been no sort of kin toward you, nor have I been fair. Marriage is a wonderful thing, and you, my dear, were the best thing ever to happen to Fred.
Oh, Uncle Scrooge.
Are you feeling well, Uncle?
I am now, my dears, I am now.
Scrooge was at home in 5 minutes. They ate the meal from soup through to pudding, with the crusty old character glow throughout. But before his niece and nephew could entreat him to stay, Scrooge was off. By now the sun had slipped below the rooftops, and Scrooge had but one errand left in his day.
I'm not sure it's right, Bob.
I know, my dear, but what were we to do? The largest turkey we've ever seen is delivered to our door, packed up and paid for. Am I to turn it back into the street?
I know, Bob, I know. It's just I've had a feeling all day. Powerful forces are at work.
Is it nearly roasted, Mum?
It smells so good.
Give it time, my dears. A bird that size was never meant for our oven.
Bob Cratchit?
Blimey, it's Mr. Scrooge.
Bob Cratchit, open this door this instant.
Go into the kitchen, children.
Is anything wrong, Mum?
Oh, everything's fine. And take Tiny Tim with you, too.
I'm waiting, Mr. Cratchit.
Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir. Mr. Scrooge, what a pleasant surprise.
It is neither a surprise nor pleasant, Mr. Cratchit, that I find you here fully 8 hours after you were expected.
There's been a mistake, sir. I was to have
the full day. Yes, I know. I have changed my mind, Mr. Cratchit. I changed it some time ago.
Now you see here.
Darling, no.
I cannot allow things to continue as they have been, Mr. Cratchit. Therefore, I have no choice.
Please, sir, Mr. Scrooge.
No choice but to raise your salary.
I've been waiting to give you a piece of my mind, you flint-hearted old miser, and I'm finally in a position to do it. You, Mr. Scrooge, are the Why are you both smiling? Bob, are you all right?
I think I'm going to faint.
Merry Christmas, Bob!
Mr. Scrooge?
And you too, Mrs. Cratchit. You've got the turkey, I see.
From you.
From me.
I am going to faint.
Now, Bob, I've not made a Merry Christmas for you in many a year, I know that. But I'll make amends, starting with that bird in there. Take the day, Bob, and tomorrow besides. But the first thing I want you to do is buy a new stove for your office and a coal bin to go with it, and then we shall talk about your salary.
Thank you, sir.
Mrs. Cratchit?
Mr. Scrooge?
This is for you.
Bob, they're gold sovereigns.
And if you look, my good woman, there is also the name of the best physician in Whitechapel. I've already spoken to him about your Tiny Tim, and he wants to see you both first thing in the morning.
Mr. Scrooge, I don't know how to thank you.
Don't. I am merely keeping with the season.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city ever knew. Some people laughed to see this alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little heeded them. Indeed, his own heart laughed.
And that was quite enough for him.
He had no further dealings with spirits, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
The Icebox Radio Theater's A Christmas Carol was performed at the Evangelical Covenant Church in International Falls, Minnesota on December 6, 2004. It starred Neil Smith as Scrooge and Debbie Griffith as the narrator. Jim Hummel played Bob Cratchit, with Mary Hummel featured as Mrs. Cratchit, Amber Lyon as the young Cratchit girl, and Marco Griffith as both the young Cratchit boy and Tiny Tim. The ghosts were played by Jeremy Faith as Jacob Marley, Rachel Adams as Christmas Past, Daniel Ducharme as Christmas Present, and Jeffrey Adams as Christmas Future. Shane Dixon played Scrooge's nephew and Scrooge as a young fool, while Felicia Schmutz portrayed Scrooge's niece and Belle. The two ladies of charity were Crystal Clance and Linda Faith. The revelers at the nephew's party were Crystal Clance, Bruce Monroe, Jonathan Doe, and Amber Lyon. Old Joe of the beetling shop was Jeremy Faith, and the two scavenger women were Linda Faith and Crystal Clance. Old Fezziwig was Jeffrey Adams, and Marco Griffith played the turkey boy. The special message was delivered by Pastor Al Johnson of the International Falls Covenant Church. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens was adapted for radio by Jeffrey Adams. The sound mixer was Stephen Adams. Diane Adams was in charge of pre-recorded sound effects. Live sound effects were created by Amber Lyon, Shane Dixon, Bruce Monroe, Jonathan Doe, Rachel Adams, Marco Griffith, Jim Hummel, and Mary Hummel. This play is copyright 2004 by the Icebox Radio Theater, which is solely responsible for its content. And that was Neil Smith, starring as Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. Great old recording. Wonderful to hear it again. Wonderful to hear Neil's voice again, as he sadly passed away a couple of years ago. And he was, of course, the first voice to ever appear on the Icebox Radio Theater in 2004. You're listening to Oh Christmas Stream. The pictures you see are of our Christmas tree, our family and theater Christmas tree, live in International Falls, Minnesota. And the audio you hear is some of the best Christmas programs that we've created over the years, including this wonderful show that we're going to play next. It's entitled Season of the Elf, and it stars John Bell of Bells in the Factory, probably one of the most talented and accomplished people currently working in audio drama. You want to check out his podcast, Bells in the Factory. It's very, very funny, and he is a wonderful talent that it's so great. We got him on a couple of different shows now, but I don't think he ever shined brighter than he did right here. Here is now Season of the Elf on Oh Christmas Stream. Season of the Elf. Christmas, a time of light and happiness. It is a time for family and a time to feast. It is, for most, the very soul of all that is good. But it's also important to remember that Christmas comes at the darkest time of the year, and the light of your candles is all that stands between your happiest of celebrations and the still cold hibernation of the frozen world outside your frosted window pane. On a large farm hugging the shores of a wide river, there sits a farmhouse. It is old, worn down, yet somehow loved. Snow covers the fields all around. The river, a quarter-mile wide in some places, has shrunk to a mere rushing stream for the ice that spreads from each shore. And the house itself, its elderly roof pushing back against the wind, a tendril of smoke rising from its crumbling chimney, sits as if waiting for someone to come and warm it once again. It is Christmas time, but one old man sits alone in the house, dozing as a half-read book sags in his lap. Then he awakes with a start.
What?
At the sound of a car coming up the drive.
Oh, fell asleep. Oh, my. Oh, my. Hold on.
Hello?
Just a second.
Hello, Uncle Tom?
Just a second, I'm coming. Yes?
Uncle Tom, it's me, Kristen.
Of course.
Can we come in?
Come in. 20 below outside.
Thank you so much. The heater's out in the car. We're all frozen.
Heater's out? Get in here, girl.
Oh, thank you.
Get in by the fire. Now, what's your name?
I'm Sarah.
That your ma there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. Who are you?
I'm Rachel, Uncle Tom.
Who?
I said I'm Rachel.
I can hear. You just mumble, child. I've met you before.
At Barb and Peter's wedding. She was all of 6 then.
Let's get these boots off. I'll make sure you don't have any frostbite.
Oh, I'm sure there's no threat of that.
20 below out. There's always a threat of frostbite.
Uncle Tom, I know we came here unannounced, and I'm sorry for that, but I do have...
This one's boots are about worn through. We'll need to get you some new ones.
I just got these at the second hand in Mount Iron.
Well, you need new ones.
Uncle Tom, I do have...
I like these boots.
Need new ones.
I say, I do have...
Your sister there, she has a good pair. What are those, Doc Martens?
Yeah.
Good boots, that company. How come they're pink?
Uncle Tom.
What? What is it?
I have to... Well, now I'm all flustered.
She had this whole speech she's been practicing all the way up here.
Rachel.
Well, you were, Mom.
I'm sorry to come up here unannounced.
Did you? Well, that was rude.
I'm sorry.
But your family, and it's Christmas time, so there's nothing we can do about it. Have you eaten?
No.
Sarah, please. Uncle Tom, I just...
Uncle. Just call me Uncle. Everyone does. Even people not related to me.
Okay. I know we haven't always been as close as family should be, but we need your help.
I've got no money.
No, I didn't mean...
But I've got this house, and you're welcome to stay here all Christmas if you like.
Oh, well...
You girls hungry?
Yes.
I baked some cornbread for my supper. It's in there. Butter in the fridge, honey up in the pantry. Run along now, both of you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all right.
I should explain.
Your mother called me last night, Kirsten. She told me you were coming.
She did? I asked her not to do that.
Well, this way I had fresh bread for the girls and 2 of the rooms made up. Hope they don't mind sharing.
They've been sharing the back of a car for a week. I don't think they're going to mind.
Good.
Uncle, I've messed everything up.
Hush. You're just off the road. You need to warm up and get some food in you. It's a bachelor's cooking, but it's hot. And there's coffee. Come on.
Can I have some more, Uncle Tom?
Of course. And just Uncle, please.
That's 4 pieces for you, Sarah.
It's good, and I haven't eaten since yesterday.
It's all right, Kirsten. I have plenty, and what I have is all yours. In fact, I had a little proposition for you ladies.
What's a proposition?
Wow, ignorant much?
Rachel.
What on earth does that mean, ignorant much?
Nothing.
Rachel, please.
No, I want to know. Are you calling your sister ignorant?
Well, she is, isn't she?
Let me ask you something. Which are you, Rachel?
Yes.
Let me ask you something, Rachel. You know how to milk a goat?
What?
How much hay to put out for the stock? What needs to be done to the soil before winter?
Why would I know any of that?
But you don't know it, do you?
No.
Then I could call you ignorant, on account you don't know anything about farming. You're probably ignorant about fixing tractors and HO scale, too. See, the thing about ignorance, girl, is that it doesn't mean much. It's not the same thing as being slow or stupid. It just means you haven't encountered the subject yet. Pick up a book and it's cured. You can learn anything.
Like how to milk goats?
Of course! Your sister there's younger than you. Her ignorance reflects on you as much as it does on her.
Yeah.
You don't even know what he's talking about.
I do so.
And I'm not responsible for her.
Oh, you aren't, eh?
No, and nobody's responsible for me either.
Is that so?
Yeah, and while we're on the subject of ignorance, do you know anything about being homeless?
Rachel!
No, I don't suppose I do. I was born in this house, and I could always come back to it.
Then you don't know anything about me, so don't judge.
Well, I'll tell you, Kirsten, you got 2 crusty girls here.
I'm really sorry, Uncle. I
like 'em.
What?
I'm pretty crusty myself, and I could use the company. Your mother and I were talking, girls. Would you honor me with your presence over the holidays?
What?
Christmas, girl. Will you stay in the house for Christmas?
Whatever.
Good. How about you?
Mom?
It's okay, honey.
What's wrong with that one?
We kind of got kicked out of the last place we were in. He'd invited us for Christmas, too.
Who's that?
A friend from school.
An ex-boyfriend.
Rachel, please.
Mom wouldn't, so he kicked us to the curb.
I like Justin.
That was his name, was it?
Justin, yeah. He said we'd get Christmas dinner and presents and everything.
And you're afraid I'll make a bunch of promises and then kick you, how'd you say it, to the curb?
I guess.
Well, I don't know about this Justin, but I'm family, little girl. Family doesn't do that. But I do need to talk to you two girls about something.
What?
You two are welcome to play anywhere you like in the house. Just let me show you the layout before you play with that.
What's a layout?
HO scale model trains down in the basement. Been working on it for 30 years, so I want to show you the ropes before you play with it.
A model train set?
Yes, but let me show you the layout before you play with it, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you go outside, the barn is fine. In fact, I may ask your help with the goats.
Goats?
Miss Matilda and her 5 kids. Littlest still takes a bottle now and then.
Wonderful.
But if you do go outside, I have to warn you about something.
What?
My grandfather bought this farm from old Einerson back in 36, and he warned him at the time that the land was filled with fairies and sprites from the old country. They'd come over with Einerson's folks a generation before.
Fairies?
Spirits. Little people that watch over the land and those who work it. My grandfather didn't put much stock in it at first, but he learned. He learned respect for them and what they were here for.
So they're like ghosts?
No, they're nothing to be afraid of, but you have to respect the land. No mischief in the barn, no tugging at the goat's ears or playing with matches in the orchard. No mischief.
Or the fairies will get us?
Don't laugh, girl.
Trust me, I'm not.
There is more to this world than just what you can see. It's just ignorant to think otherwise.
Mom, do we need to do this?
Rachel, please.
How about you take me back to that mall in Brainerd? I can find enough to eat there, and I'm sure there's places to sleep.
You are being ungrateful.
I'm not ungrateful. I'm worried he's crazy, and he's going to kill us in our sleep.
Rachel, go get my purse in the car.
Mom, I just...
Go! Now!
Fine.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. It's her age. And nature has a way of showing people what they need to see.
So many crazy relatives. Mom never knows what she's doing. I'd be so much better off. Just can't get out of here. I should take the car. I can drive. I know I can. Whoa! Great, I'm soaked. What tripped me? Of course, one of those ridiculous garden gnomes. No wonder Uncle Tom thinks he's got fairies. He probably sees these statues and forgot he put them up. Into the woods. Ugly. There, it won't trip anyone in there. What? What is that?
So, like to see that train set?
Rachel, what's wrong?
Calm down, girl. You'll have a stroke.
What's wrong?
There's a creepy little man outside. Like tiny. Way too small.
Oh, did he have a little red hat?
Yes.
And a white beard came right down to a point?
Yeah, that's right. What is it?
You know what you've seen there, Rachel? You've seen the tomty.
The what?
The tomty is called a tomty, and it's nothing to be messed with.
I believe that.
Wait a minute, Uncle. Are you saying... What are you saying?
You really have elves living on this farm?
He's not saying that, dear.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Uncle Tom?
What? What's wrong?
You shouldn't be teasing the girls this way.
Excuse me, eyewitness over here.
The girl saw what she saw, Kirsten.
I'm sure there's a perfectly logical explanation.
What happened right before you saw him?
Nothing.
Then what were you doing out there?
I was sent to get Mom's purse, remember?
Where is it, by the way?
I forgot it.
Rachel?
I forgot it because I got accosted by a scary little gnome.
Tomty.
Whatever!
And you had to have done something.
Why are you accusing me of stuff?
Because a Tomty does not act unprovoked.
I didn't provoke it!
Can I ask a question?
What?
What's a Tomty?
It's a mythical creature. That's what Uncle's saying, isn't it?
The young one wants to hear what a Tomty is. Can I tell it without interruption?
Yes, of course, but it is...
Kirsten, let me tell it. They say that when Christianity first came to the old country, to Scandinavia, the people adapted their traditions to the new faith, like people do everywhere. And the Tomty was said to be where we got our idea of Santa Claus.
Really?
Smaller, of course, but with a white beard and pointy little shoes. Remember, before we came to think of him as a big man, Santa was called a right jolly old elf.
Hey, yeah.
Anyway, a Tomty is said to be the spirit of a farm's first owner. You work on a farm your whole life, taking care of the land and the animals. I guess you just can't stop after death.
So it's a ghost?
In the old country, they didn't think in terms of ghosts. They thought your spirit became something different after you died. Like a little elf who protected the farm. Tomties will leave you alone for the most part. But if you misuse the land or the animals, he'll scold you, maybe even get up to mischief.
Are they scary?
Not really. Most of the time, you don't even know they're there. Most of the time.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Like I said, they don't appear unless you abuse the land.
So you think I abused the land?
You must have.
I went to the car and I came back. Unless leaving footprints counts as abuse, I'm innocent.
Suit yourself, but just to be on the safe side, I think there's something you should do.
What?
The Icebox Radio Podcast will be back right after this.
Radio, internet, iPod. There are many ways to listen to the Icebox Radio Theater. And now, for the collector in you, we'd like to add the mailbox to that list. Subscribe to the Icebox Radio Theater, and every month you'll receive a compact disc in the mail with our latest plays, songs, and skits in top-quality audio and without commercials. It's a great way to build a collection or introduce our unique brand of radio storytelling to someone who doesn't particularly enjoy computers. Know an old-time radio fan? Give an IBRT subscription as a gift to let them know the golden age of radio is on its way back. Become a member of the IBRT and receive a special discount on your subscription and one for a friend. Just visit iceboxradio.org and click on the Store link for more information. The Icebox Radio Theater, bringing the Northland stories to you.
Well, shoot. It happened again.
Your iPod broke?
No, it's working fine. I just lost another audio drama podcast. It seems like every time I get into a story, the show goes on hiatus. I guess I can't complain. Podcasters just produce these shows for fun, after all.
Well, not all of them. There are people producing serious work in podcasting. I'm talking about real artists, like the Icebox Radio Theater.
Oh, I've been meaning to try them.
They use professional actors, professional writers, and they haven't missed an episode in 5 years.
Do they charge for their podcasts?
Oh, no way. The Icebox Radio Theater is a non-profit organization. They have membership drives, just like NPR. When I joined the IBRT, I got special members-only content on their website, commercial-free versions of all their plays, discounts on IBRT merchandise, and more. And I get to vote in theater elections and the annual Frosty Awards.
So, kind of like a club.
Oh, that's not all. Did you know that members have written, acted, and even done CD covers for the IBRT? Well, join the theater and it's almost like you're part of the family.
Well, I'll just start by listening.
Or check it out on iceboxradio.org. There's a membership link right along the top.
Well, if they promise to never miss an episode.
They won't.
Then I just might do that. What's the address again?
iceboxradio.org.
But just to be on the safe side, I think there's something you should do.
What? Do what now?
Milk the goats.
You've got to be kidding me.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they kind of are. The mama over there is Miss Matilda, and her kids are the twins, Odette and Odell, then Gunnar, Ishmael, and finally Pete, the little runt in the corner.
And we're supposed to milk them.
Just Matilda, of course. Christmas is coming, and if the Tomty is about, we'll need to leave him a nice present, or there'll be heck to pay.
They like goat's milk.
They like a nice bowl of porridge with lots of butter. That's what the milk's for, making butter.
This is ridiculous.
He showed himself to you, so I figured you should do the milking. Come on over here. I know, girl, I'm coming.
What do I have to do?
Here's the pail. Just get under there.
Under there?
I imagine you can tell what her teats are. All right, grab hold and pull down gently while you squeeze. It takes a little practice.
Ew, they're warm.
Warm-blooded. Definition of a mammal is the mothers make milk.
I can't get anything to come out.
Just keep trying. Try different things, but be gentle.
Hey!
There you go. That's got it.
There's not very much coming out.
Well, keep at it. Takes a while. I'm going to head back into the house. You girls take care of things.
Wait, how much should I get?
She'll tell you when she's done.
What?
Too cold out here for my old bones. I'm headed in.
Wait a minute, Uncle. What am I...
Keep milking.
Okay.
All right, then. Be good.
We will.
Cannot believe I'm doing this.
That looks like fun.
You want to try? Be my guest.
Why doesn't it work?
You're doing it wrong.
No, I'm not.
Sarah, I think you're hurting her.
What's wrong with her? She's not milking.
You're being too rough.
No, I'm not. Ah!
Whoa, she moves fast.
She hit me right on the knee with her stupid head.
It's called butting, I believe, and it serves you right. You're being too rough.
Stupid goat.
Sarah!
Well, she hit me first.
You can't hit the goat. You're being too rough with her.
No, I wasn't.
Sarah! Look out! Ah! Sarah!
My leg. I hurt my leg.
Are you hurt bad?
Ow!
Let me get you out. Let me...
Wow! Help me!
Sarah, look!
What?
You see it too?
I don't want to be a farmer anymore.
Is she okay?
It's a bad knock, but I don't think anything's broken. She can wiggle her toes just fine. Should stay off it, though.
I didn't do anything, I swear.
I know.
It was that heinous little dude. Can we go kill it?
Hold on. Tell me what happened.
Nothing. We weren't doing anything, and that thing attacked us.
Rachel.
For our own safety, we need to go get rid of it.
Rachel, stop it. Let me ask you something. Did you believe in fairies before you came here?
No.
Do you believe in them now?
Is that Tomty a fairy?
No.
Then no, I don't believe in fairies.
My point is, you came in here knowing nothing about nothing, and never even heard about a Tomty before. And now you think you know how to get rid of one?
What's your point?
Maybe you should listen to someone older and wiser.
Like you?
Yes.
We listened to you before, and things didn't work out so well.
What sort of listening was that? Your sister slapped Matilda.
He headbutted her.
She head-butted her. And was it unprovoked?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm not lying.
Oh, yes, you are, and you're very good at it.
What?
I said you're a very practiced liar. What was that?
Nothing.
No, it was something. You don't like being called a liar?
I don't like being accused of things I didn't do.
That happens a lot, doesn't it? Maybe you and your sister have been accused of things in the past. Stealing?
We don't steal.
But you've been accused of it. You know, I rode the rails for a time back in the 50s.
What do you mean, rode the rails?
Bummed around, played hobo. I was homeless. Of course, in those days, there was a certain romance to that life, especially for a grown man on his own. I knew a couple of families on the road, though. For them, it didn't look romantic at all. Couldn't imagine what it was like for you girls and your mom.
It was this fast food place in Brainerd. Sarah was thirsty, so I found a cup in the garbage outside. I wiped it off and took it in for a refill. The manager yelled. The whole restaurant could hear.
So you did try and steal.
It wasn't stealing. Someone paid for that cup, and they had free refills.
All right, all right.
Mom was really paranoid about the police. She was afraid if we got picked up for anything, even like littering, they'd find out we were homeless and split us up.
Sounds like a reasonable fear.
I guess.
You're not afraid of being split up?
Whatever happens, happens. Besides, I'm almost 16.
Pretty tough, aren't you?
I have to be.
I can see that. So what's next? Chasing unicorns?
What?
Looking for the rabbit hole? I've got an old wardrobe in the barn. Maybe you should walk through it and see what happens.
What are you talking about?
You act tough, and I have no doubt that you are tough. But there's something you're forgetting about.
What?
You've seen the Tomty, a creature most folks wouldn't believe exists. I wouldn't have believed it existed myself until I saw it with my own eyes. You think you can just walk away from that?
Are you saying we're trapped here?
No. Leave whenever you like. But you have to remember what's happened to you, Rachel. You've been given a glimpse into another world. And that's a good thing, because your world was a pretty mean place until that Tomty showed himself.
So?
So do you really think you'll ever set your head down on a pillow again without thinking of him? There you'll be in the back of the car, or maybe on a shelter mattress, trying to get to sleep. Maybe your belly not quite full, and your mind will go back to him, back to the little man in the pointed cap. And you'll wonder if there isn't more to life. You've been given a gift, Rachel. Most people in your lot dream of hitting the lottery. You'll dream of a whole different world.
Again, so?
So, while you're here, while your sister's leg heals, why don't you take advantage and learn everything you can about that world and the creatures that inhabit it?
What if I don't want to?
That's up to you. You don't need to listen to this old man's ramblings if you don't want to. But I think you're going to be here, at least until your sister heals up. Besides, it's Christmas time. You can't have magic now. When can you?
I'll think about it.
I thought you might.
Now it is Christmas Eve, and though there is only a few presents under the tree, Uncle has one special one for little Sarah. He's moved her to an easy chair right next to the fire, and just as we join the scene, Uncle hands her a box.
Ooh!
You like it?
What is it? Is it a crown?
Just so. Bet you recognize it, Kirsten.
It's a Lucia bride crown, isn't it?
Oh, what?
A Lucia bride crown, the crown of light. Don't you girls know the story of Santa Lucia?
Was she a princess?
Not exactly.
She was a martyr.
Rachel.
So you do know.
I read occasionally.
That's right. She was a martyr.
What's a martyr?
Someone who died for their faith.
I don't understand.
Well, there were difficult times for Christians in Rome in the 1st century when Santa Lucia lived. She believed in Jesus, and when she refused to marry a man who didn't, they put her to death.
terrible.
Yes, it is. Those were hard times. But some good came of it. When the missionaries brought the faith to Scandinavia, people there were so moved by the story of Santa Lucia's courage that she became known as the Lucia Bride. It was said she would appear early in the morning and bring food and drink to the poor while wearing a crown of light.
This crown?
Or one like it. That crown has been in my family for generations. Candles are new, though.
Do you actually light the candles when you wear it?
Well, in the traditional Yule Fest, you do. On the shortest night of the year, the daughter of the house would dress in all white, put on the crown of light, and bring coffee and rolls to all the grown-ups.
I thought the tradition was the oldest daughter got the crown.
It is, but I thought someone else could use a little cheering up.
The storm's getting worse.
Yep, I think it is. Come on, Rachel.
Where?
You and I are going to check on the goats.
Perfect.
Hush. Get your boots.
Can we light the crown when you get back?
No.
Mom!
I said no. You are not going around the house with a bad leg and a flaming crown on your head.
Oh, no.
And don't you start. I don't care if it is tradition.
No, it's the barn.
What?
The barn doors are open.
Matilda's right outside the window.
If she's up by the house, it's a good bet the others are loose, too. Get your coat, Kirsten.
I should stay here with...
I want to go.
No, honey, you can't go out.
I'll be careful.
It's not safe, little one.
I'll start looking in the woods.
Be careful, and don't run up on them fast.
I won't. They trust me.
While the storm raged outside, Rachel, her mother, and uncle trooped out into the snow. And sure enough, Matilda and her 5 kids were scattered everywhere all over the farm. Soon, all 3 of the elder members of the family were out of sight of the farmhouse, and little Sarah sat by herself, looking out the window. From her window seat, she could just see the figures of her family carrying goats back to the barn.
That's 2, 3. I think that's all of them. No, wait, there's one more. Oh no, they're heading back into the woods. It's going to be forever before they come back. That's right outside. It's Pete. Oh, poor little guy. And Mama and the others are way across the field. He sounds hurt. Okay?
Little Sarah climbed carefully down from her window seat and struggled to get to the door. She grabbed one of her uncle's coats hanging there, which hung upon her like a cape.
Okay?
And headed out into the storm. Limping along in the snow as fast as she could go, Sarah went along the side of the house to the backyard, and there, tangled up in a wire fence, was the littlest goat, Pete.
Oh, poor thing. Your leg's caught. If I could just reach down... Whoa!
Sarah's one good leg slipped in the snow and she fell into a heap. She wasn't hurt, but she couldn't see how to get up again.
Well, I'm already soaked, so I might as well help you out. Here, your leg's caught in the wire. There. Oh, you're bleeding. We gotta get you inside. I can't get up. Are you cold too? The others will be back from the barn soon. We just need to hunker down. That's what Uncle says. Hunker down. Come on, come in under the coat. There, see? Plenty of room for both of us. I'll just put it up over my head and we'll be okay. That's right, it's gonna be okay.
The snow continued to fall and pile up all around little Sarah and the littlest goat Pete. But Uncle's massive coat acted somewhat like a tent, and as the snow piled up on top of them, it actually grew warm and cozy inside.
This isn't too bad, is it, Pete? I bet you want your mama. Well, they'll be back soon. I know they will.
At that moment, 3 figures struggled across the field toward the farmhouse. Snowdrifts, some already 2 feet deep, slowed their progress to a crawl.
You can't just give up.
Rachel, please.
It's all right. It's good she cares.
But it was Petey, the littlest one.
I know. That's often the way it is on a farm. I'm sorry, Rachel, but we can't be out in this storm much longer ourselves.
But it's not fair.
No, it isn't. But that's the way it is. Come on in the house now.
Sarah!
Watch the storm. If the wind lets up, we can go out again.
I'm going out anyway.
Now, Rachel.
I just need to come in and warm up, and that's all. Once I can feel my toes again, I'm going back out.
She's not here.
What?
Sarah, she's gone.
Calm yourself. She's probably down playing with the train set.
No, the lights in the basement are off.
What about her room?
I checked there first. She's gone, Uncle.
Do you think she went outside?
Why would she do that?
She really wanted to join the search, Mom.
I suppose we need to... hang on.
What is it?
My old pea coat always hangs on this nail. It's missing.
Oh, we have to get back outside.
Mom, calm down.
Rachel?
Hold on, both of you. Now, she couldn't have gone very far.
We were outside for close to an hour. She's probably already frozen out there somewhere.
Then we'll go back out. Didn't even take my boots off.
Oh, would you come on, please?
What in blazes?
Did the power just go out?
Don't know. The lights did anyway.
Worry about it later. Come on. Can you see any footprints?
Snow would have filled them in already.
How are you supposed to find her?
I don't know. Head toward the barn.
Wait.
We can't wait. We have to get...
Kirsten, wait. The electrical took out all the lights in the house, except for the security light in back. That runs on a battery.
So?
Look, there's something out there. See that pile in the snow?
Yeah.
It wasn't there before. Come on.
Do you think?
Sarah!
There. Pile just moved.
Sarah?
Mom?
Was that?
Get out from under there.
Mom, I had to come outside. Petey was hurt.
Oh my gosh, you're safe.
I had to. He was hurt.
It's okay now. It's okay.
He's hurt, you say?
He got his leg caught in that fence. He's bleeding.
Oh, so he is. A little scrape there is all. We should get him cleaned up, though. Rachel, you take Petey.
Okay.
And I will get you.
I can walk.
Snow's too deep. Come on now.
Uncle carried little Sarah, and Rachel carried the little goat into the house, where both were warmed by the fire, and the mischievous little goat had his wounds tended to.
Hey, the lights.
Why did they go out, I wonder?
I don't.
What?
I don't wonder why they went out. It was the Tomty.
What?
The Tomty wanted to make sure we saw little Petey and Sarah. By taking out all the lights except the one on battery, he made sure we'd see her.
That seems far-fetched.
You want to explain why they just came back on by themselves?
It's not that. It's just not like the Tomty to do something nice.
Well, they don't always scold you. Sometimes they reward. Sarah done this little animal a kindness, and he rewarded her for it. Rewarded us all. Now that the power's back, we can be sure to thank him for it.
What do you mean?
We have to make a nice bowl of porridge for him, with plenty of butter. Come on, girls, let's get to the kitchen.
The family went to the kitchen and set to cooking. Before long, a large pot of porridge was steaming on the stove.
This butter churn is old, but it still works.
This is all you have to do? Just move the stick up and down?
Keep at it. It'll be butter soon enough.
A little while later, with the lights of the Christmas tree lit, the four of them set the bowl of porridge, brimming with fresh butter, on the hearth.
You just have to leave it there?
He'll find it just fine. You did good, girls.
Could Petey stay inside with us tonight?
Of course. There's no way we could get him safely back to the barn in the storm.
Yay!
But he can't sleep with you.
Aww.
We'll set him up here by the fire.
The next morning, Christmas morning, they all awoke to a blanket of new snow glistening in the brilliant winter sunshine. There weren't a lot of presents, of course, but that made what they did have mean that much more.
This is beautiful. Did you make it yourself, Uncle?
Here's some old watch pieces I soldered together and shined up. There's one for each of you. It makes a nice pin, don't you think?
Cool, it's very steampunk.
What on earth is steampunk?
And there was plenty of food, for no one ever goes hungry on a farm. There was even a turkey in the oven, which filled the little farmhouse with delicious smells and gave the whole family a wonderful joy in just being there and being together. There was even a little bit of magic.
Hey!
What is it?
The bowl we put that porridge in for the Tomty?
Yes?
There's some missing.
Oh, I'm sure the goat's just been at it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
That was the story of A Wonderful Christmas. and Uncle found he liked living with family. And by New Year's Eve, everyone had decided they should stay together. The girls grew up strong and wise on the farm, and they learned that family was the strongest bond of all. And always, always, they respected the land and everything in it. And the Tomty never appeared to them again. That first Christmas on the farm was truly the season of the elf. The end. This has been Season of the Elf from the Icebox Radio Theater. Your cast featured Rebecca Salo as Rachel, Gavia Yunt was Sarah, Beth Nelson was Kirsten, and John Bell played Uncle. The script was written and directed by Jeffrey Adams. Sound effects created and realized by Dave Irwin. John Bell appeared courtesy of his very funny podcast, Bells in the Bat Free. Learn all about it at thebatfree.com. Season of the Elf is copyright 2014 by the Icebox Radio Theater, all rights reserved. For more information about new radio theater, visit iceboxradio.org. John Bell there on the Icebox Radio Theater with Season of the Elf. Thanks to Rebecca and Gavia and Beth and really everyone that worked together on that production. It was an awful lot of fun. And next up, we're going to go just 1 year back, 2020, when we were invited by Bacchus Community Center to perform a Christmas show in their beautiful auditorium. Unfortunately, because we were in the throes of COVID, it wasn't possible to have a live audience. But we still put on a full radio show for the benefit of our local community television station, which aired the show. It's still available. The whole thing's still available on YouTube if you just search for KCC TV. I think it came out pretty well, and it features an original radio play entitled A Ghost for Christmas. As a matter of fact, it features Jim Yunt and Linnea Yunt, who are the sister and father of Gavia Yunt, who appeared in our last show. I do want to apologize a bit for the quality of the recording. We did the best we could under the circumstances, but as you can hear, there was a lot of echoing because it was a completely empty auditorium. So hopefully the story makes up for it. Here is Linnea and Jim Yunt, as well as Diane Adams, in A Ghost for Christmas. It's Christmas time in the Northland, and once again families from all over are gathering together to share home and hearth, fellowship and food, all in the spirit of the season. Some gatherings are large, some small, and some are just two people. As our story begins, it's several days before Christmas. On a quiet street in a small town in the far, far north, there sits a large house. The house has seen better days, but it's solid, having endured 100 Northland winters. It looks dark and empty now, but as a light snow begins to fall, two figures, a man and a young girl, step up onto the porch and unlock the front door.
Stamp your boots.
Yes, Dad.
You don't want to track in snow. Oh, all right. Don't put a hole in the floor.
Ha ha.
They are Carolyn, all of 11 years old, and her father, Doug. Not too long ago, there were 3 in their family, but Carolyn's mother passed away, and this move to this new town is a fresh start for both of them. Or at least, that's what Doug hopes.
Come on, take off your coat.
It's cold.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I thought that agent said she'd turn on the furnace.
There's a fireplace.
Good idea.
Doug has a new job in this new town, and after winter break, Carolyn will have a new school, a prospect that is, well, a little scary, but that's all in the future. The pressing concern of this day is how to make a home and a Christmas inside a new house.
Dad?
Without any stuff.
Where's our stuff?
Oh, on the moving truck.
Okay. Where's the moving truck?
Yeah, I suppose I should call that guy again. I think he said 2 days.
We don't have our stuff for 2 whole days?
Well, we bought the house, so we have all the stuff the other owners left.
Oh, what stuff?
That chair. And, yeah, I see a kitchen table in there.
Wonderful.
Oh, and the real estate agent said the owners left some beds behind. So if you go upstairs and pick out a bedroom, there will be a bed up there. Why don't you go do that, Carolyn?
Dad, I told you. I want to be called Lynn now. Carolyn is an old lady's name.
Isn't Lynn an old lady's name?
Yes, but it's shorter.
Okay, Lynn. Oh, why don't you go pick out a bedroom and I'll see about building a fire.
All right. Dad?
What?
There's like 5 bedrooms up here. Which one should I take?
Well, whichever one you want. Oh, are the beds in the rooms?
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
There's beds, just no mattresses.
Great.
Stupid move and stupid town and stupid giant house.
What's that?
Nothing. Just enjoying our giant, freezing, empty house, Father.
Is that sarcasm I hear?
Why, no. Of course not.
Okay, well, I got the fire going. Have you picked out a bedroom yet?
This one, I guess. It's the gloomiest.
Hurry up, Lynn. I got hot dogs we can roast.
Ooh, hot dogs!
It's a little while later now, and Lynn is getting ready for bed. Getting ready to bed down for the night.
Lynn. You sure you want this room? It's a little drafty.
Dad, this whole house is a little drafty. I like this room.
Yeah, it's just...
It's just what?
It's just so gloomy. It's tucked back in the rear of the house. There's only one window way up near the ceiling, and there's an attic door in the corner.
So?
Wouldn't you like one of the more cheerful rooms?
The only cheerful room I know is the one back in our old apartment. And if we're going to live in a haunted mansion, I might as well take the most haunted room, right?
Who said this house is haunted?
Oh, come on. Just look at it. I almost wish we'd move here around Halloween instead of Christmas. That way we wouldn't have to decorate.
Well, you wait. When the moving truck gets here with all our stuff, we'll settle in and decorate the old place and be all ready for Christmas. It'll be great.
If you say so.
Now, I'll be just down the hall if you need anything. Do you have enough blankets?
Yeah.
Did you find the bathroom okay?
Of course.
Do you have your phone charger?
Yes, Dad.
Good, cuz... Can I borrow it?
Did you lose your charger again? Fine, Dad. Here you go.
Thank you, sweetie.
Good night, Dad. Okay, first night in the new house. New town, new school. At least I don't have to worry about that right away. I just have to worry about sleeping in a haunted house. I wonder if it really is. What was that? Dad, is that you? That's not funny. All right, Dad has a weird sense of humor. That's a fact. He probably thinks this is funny. Ha! Okay, I can take a joke. What do you say to that, dumb ghost? This is my new room and I'm not leaving.
Get out.
Well, since you asked so nice, Daddy!
Back in the little town of Icebox, Lynn and her father are having a bit of an argument. You remember the two of them moved to town just a few days before Christmas and are living in a big, drafty house with no furniture and very little heat. It looks, for all the world, like a haunted house, which is just what Lynn thinks it is after she heard a spooky voice in her room last night. It's morning now as we hear Lynn's father say,
"There's no such thing as ghosts."
But I heard it, Dad.
You heard something, I'm sure, but there's no such thing as ghosts.
It talked.
It was just the wind.
The wind can't say get out.
Look, honey, I know what this is about, and I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
I know it's hard to move right around Christmas, but we didn't have any choice. My job starts tomorrow, your new school starts in a few days, and our lease back in the city was up. We had nowhere to go.
But why did we have to come here, to this house? All we needed was an apartment back in the city. This place is huge.
Well, believe it or not, houses are easier to find than apartments around here. And I figured we'd just grow into it. There's a yard to play in and a bunch of extra rooms. Hey, how about when our stuff gets here, we set up one of the rooms for games, huh? Put the video system up, maybe get a ping pong table too? Does that sound like fun?
I don't think a ping pong table will keep ghosts away.
Honey.
You don't believe me.
What?
You don't believe me. I heard a voice and you think it's just my imagination or something.
Well, it's been a tough time for us, and sometimes when things are tough, our imaginations run away with us. Big empty room in a big scary house.
So you admit that it's scary?
Your imagination just played a trick, that's all.
I don't think that's what happened.
I'll bet tonight, when we go to bed, you don't hear anything.
Except that huge snowstorm that's blowing in.
Except the huge snowstorm that's blowing in. But who cares? We have the furnace working. We still have the fireplace. It'll be cozy.
We're sitting on the floor, Dad.
Floors can be cozy. Sort of. Look, will you do me a favor and give it one more night?
And if the ghost comes back, we can move?
Well, not right away. We just bought this house, so we don't have any money and...
I know.
Will you try, honey?
I guess.
Thank you.
If you couldn't tell, Lynn didn't really feel like trying. She felt scared, but she wanted to help her dad if she could. So when nighttime came, she dutifully climbed the stairs to her room and snuggled up under the blankets, which was just one blanket on top of a pile of other blankets, seeing as she didn't have a mattress yet. It was snowing hard by then, and the room was cold. Lynn could see the snowflakes flying by her single window as they threw spooky shadows up on the wall. She was not sleepy, so she lay in her bed and listened to the old creaky house.
Stupid house. Dad says you're not haunted, but he didn't hear what I heard last night. Easy to say there's no such thing as ghosts when you don't hear them. Hey, ghost, why don't you go haunt my dad for a little while? Maybe he'll believe in you then. No, wait, don't do that. He doesn't deserve that. If you have to haunt somebody, haunt me. Though I have to point out there's a lot of empty rooms in this house. You could haunt an empty room, right? Look, don't haunt Dad. I'm mad at him right now, but he doesn't deserve to be haunted or anything. I know he's just trying to make things better for us. It's just, my mom died 2 years ago. You'd think after 2 years it wouldn't hurt so bad, but it still does. And Dad's really, really trying hard. I can tell. I guess he thought leaving the city would help me forget. But I can't forget. Not really. And you know what, Ghost? I don't want to forget. But I don't want to hurt Dad either, so... I guess go ahead and haunt me. If you have to haunt someone, it'd better be me, okay? I'm talking to myself. Dad's right. I'm 2 Fruit Loops short of a bowl. There's no such thing as ghosts. On the other hand, Daddy!
Oh, it's another scary night for Lynn, but just so you know, she got through it okay. By sleeping in her dad's room. It's daytime once again now. The town is digging out from the first big storm of the year, and Lynn's dad is heading to his first day at his new job.
Are you sure you're going to be okay after last night and everything?
I'll be okay, Dad. I'm going to move all my stuff to another bedroom.
That might be for the best. And maybe get out of the house a little bit today? Did you notice that the library is just 2 blocks down?
I did, yeah. I'll probably head there this afternoon.
Okay, and here.
$20?
There's a cafe next door to the library. Go buy some lunch somewhere warm with people around.
Dad, are you worried about me?
Always, sweetheart. Your cell charged?
Yep.
Okay. Call me if you need anything, all right?
All right, Dad. Have a good first day.
Lynn's father took off for his new job, and Lynn went to work moving things out of her old room into the bedroom that was right next to her dad's. But moving didn't take very long, given all Lynn had was a suitcase and a backpack and a bundle of blankets she was using as a mattress. So after half an hour or so, Lynn decided to venture out into the snow and find the public library. It was a bright, clear day outside, and the temperature had dropped to near zero. Being a northern girl, Lynn knew how to bundle up, but she was still pretty chilled when she walked through the doors of the old brick building, which had metal letters on the outside reading, Library Community Building. She moved with a purpose, because Lynn didn't just come to the library to kill time. Lynn loved books, and knew that the library would be the best place to do a little research on a certain old house.
Excuse me?
Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for the local history section.
Well, we don't have a local history section as such, but if you look across the foyer there, you'll see the sign for the Minnesota room. All our local history is in there.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
I don't think I know you.
Probably not. I just moved to town.
Then welcome. I like people who make the library one of their first stops in town. I'm Miss Page, the director.
I'm Lynn, the student.
Very nice to meet you, Lynn. Have you started school yet?
Not yet. We just moved and it's winter break.
Oh, that's right, it is. You must be reading local history just for fun, then.
Well, not exactly. I was hoping to do a little research on our new house.
That sounds like fun. We don't have a house-by-house history, of course, but there are some locally published books. Which house is yours?
It's 424 7th Street.
424 7th Street? Oh, I know just the book. Come with me.
Really? That's amazing. I thought I'd have to dig through some dusty old records or something.
No, I've got the perfect book in the Minnesota room. Here. Anderson, Michael, Anderson, Michelle, Anderson. Here it is. I think this book has all the information you need.
Famous haunted houses of the Northland?
Yes, Lynn. Didn't you know? You live in the most haunted house in town.
Well, things have gotten very interesting. You'll remember Lynn visited the public library to try and learn more about her house when the librarian gave her a big shock.
Famous haunted houses of the Northland? That's the book you wanted to show me?
Why, yes. Didn't you know?
No, what? That I live in a real haunted house?
You seem upset.
Yeah, because I live in a real haunted house.
I see. There's been a misunderstanding. Look at the book's subtitle.
Award-winning Halloween Haunts of Northern Minnesota. I don't understand.
This book isn't about the supernatural. It's about people who convert their homes into haunted house amusements for Halloween. You know, decorations, guided tours, and the like.
Oh.
There's an organized group behind this book. Home hunters, they call themselves. And Cornelius Fidget is one of their premier members.
Who?
Cornelius Fidget, the former owner of your house at 424 7th Street. He's quite a local character. He always went all out for Halloween. He spent a lot of time here in the library researching his inventions.
You mean he was an inventor?
Exactly. But he never found much success, unfortunately. And last summer, after working at it for years, he finally gave up, sold his house, and moved away. It was very sad not seeing his place all lit up this Halloween.
That is kind of sad. Do you know where he is?
No, unfortunately. I remember right around the 4th of July, he came in, returned the last few books he'd checked out, thanked me, then walked right out the door, never to be seen again. A neighbor of his told me his house was completely cleaned out the next day.
Wow. I wish I could talk to him. Ask him about the ghost.
He never mentioned anything about a ghost to me. As far as I know, 424 7th Street was only haunted by props and special effects.
But I heard something.
I'm sorry?
I heard something in one of the rooms of the house. A voice.
Fascinating. Well, we don't have any books on ghost hunting exactly, although we do have several videos from that Ghost Hunters television show.
No, that show scares me.
Me too. Tell me, what is it you'd like to do?
Make it stop. I mean, Dad and I just moved to town and everything's really stressful right now. I just want the voices to quit talking to me.
And what do they say exactly?
Mostly they just moan and say, "Get out." Like in a scary movie.
Well, why don't you spend the day here and we'll research the subject together.
So Lynn spent a very pleasant day in the company of her new friend, the librarian, searching the books and the internet for some words of advice on how to rid your house of a ghost. But soon it was time for Lynn to head home, and by then she had an idea as to what she wanted to do. The wind had picked up as she went up to the old bedroom where she slept the first 2 nights in her new house. Why she was there, you ask? Because Lynn was feeling very brave.
All right, Ghost. You don't like me and I don't like you. So we're going to have it out. Right now. Hello? Anybody there? This is dumb. There's no such thing as ghosts. Just like Miss Page said. You know what, Ghost? I don't believe in you. My daddy bought this house, and that means it belongs to us now. So you can just keep quiet from now on, all right? That's what I thought. Ha! There's no such thing as ghosts. Or maybe there is. Wow. Maybe we could work something out.
Get out.
Okay, all right. You know what? I want to see you.
Get out.
Yeah, you said that already. But I'm not going anywhere until I see you. I want to see a real, live ghost.
Get out, 'cause I'm invisible.
Tough. I'm not going anywhere until I see you. I want a full body apparition.
A what?
A full body apparition. Sorry, I've been reading ghost hunting books all afternoon.
Can you come back later?
Wait a minute. This is the room with the little door leading up to the attic. Dad said I shouldn't open it.
You should obey your father.
That's it. I'm opening opening it.
No, wait, it's really scary back here. Spiders and snakes and things and... Oh, peppermint sticks.
Who are you?
I'm a ghost.
You don't look like a ghost. You look like a man with a microphone and a bunch of sound equipment.
Well, ghosts can have sound equipment. You don't know.
Wait a minute. You're Cornelius Fidget. The librarian told me all about you. She said you moved.
Well, I did move. From the house up to the attic.
You mean you've been here all along?
Well, why not? It's my house.
Not anymore. Dad bought it.
Well, he bought it because he had money and I don't. But I will soon. Such a wonderful invention I've been cooking up. $1 million idea.
What is it?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
You are crazy, Mr. Fidget.
Crazy like a fox.
No, just crazy. You sell your house, but sneak back in and hide in the attic, then try to scare us away with ghost noises?
But you were scared, right? Admit it.
Sure, I was scared, but we're not going to just leave because of a few voices.
Oh, I was working on lots of other things. Doors were going to open and close by themselves, spooky creaks and things that go bump in the night. It was going to be wonderful.
Why don't you just get a new place? You sold this house, so you must have money.
No, my dear, the bank has money. I'm flat busted.
Well, you can't stay here.
What do you mean?
It's our house.
Well, technically, but I have important work to do.
We do too. My dad just started his new job, and I start a new school in a few days. And it's Christmas. So, I'm sorry, Mr. Fidget. But you need to leave.
You can't. I'll be on the street.
Well, you can't stay in our attic. I'm sorry, but
wait. I invoke the spirit of Christmas.
You what?
I invoke the spirit of Christmas. At this festive time of year, no one who invokes it can be turned out into the street. It's the law.
No, it's not.
Well, now, how do you know? Didn't you just say you're new in town?
Well,
I've got you. I invoke the spirit of Christmas, and there's nothing you can do about it. So there.
Well, I'm going to ask Miss Page about it at the library.
You do that, little girl.
I will!
Well, things have gotten pretty interesting for Lynn in her new house. You'll remember that she discovered Mr. Fidget, the house's former owner, hiding in the attic. But when she tried to get him to leave, he invoked the spirit of Christmas to stop her. Now, Lynn has as much Christmas spirit as anyone, but she never heard of it being used as a rule before. So she went to the one person she knew in town who could help.
Back again, I see. You don't have much time. The library closes in just a few minutes.
That's okay. I don't need much time. I just have a question about the local laws.
Oh, that's not our purview. You'll want the law library over at the courthouse. They're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4.
I just have one quick question.
I'm not supposed to give out legal advice.
I don't want to send anyone to jail or sue them. At least I don't think I do. It's just a situation has come up at home. You'd be interested in this anyway.
Oh?
Yes. It turns out Mr. Fidget, the former owner of my house, he didn't leave town after all.
What?
Yeah. He's still in the house. I found him hiding in the attic.
Well, that's... are you sure?
Positive. I talked to him and everything. He's been using some of his Halloween sound effects to make me think the house was haunted. Turns out there is no ghost.
Well, this is very disturbing news. I wonder what would compel Cornelius to do that.
I don't know, but I have a bigger problem. He's invoked the spirit of Christmas.
He's what?
He's invoked the spirit of Christmas. That's what he said. He said it was against the law to turn someone out on the street at Christmas time. And that's my question.
You want to know if such a law exists?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
You're sure?
Yes. I helped one of our local newspaper reporters write a story about unusual laws last year. If that law existed, we would surely have found it.
All right, then I'm calling Dad and he'll call the police.
Oh, yes, that's certainly your right. But before you do, I think you should take a moment and think this over.
Why do I need to do that? This guy's trespassing.
Yes. But he's also, well, homeless.
So what? So are we, practically. We're in this big, drafty house and our stuff hasn't arrived yet, so I'm sleeping on a pile of blankets. Blankets! And then I find out this old guy is in my bedroom trying to scare us out of our wits. I mean, I didn't want to move here to begin with. I just wanted things to stay the same, but nothing's been the same since my mom died.
Forgive me, but your mother passed recently?
2 years ago.
And your father moved you here for a fresh start, yes?
Yeah, he said the old apartment was kind of full of her. He was sad there all the time. I guess I was too.
I remember when my mother passed. It was like a hole in my heart.
Did it ever heal?
No, it never really does. But the hole gets smaller and you get used to it being there. And by, I realized my mother would have wanted me to go on living. We who are left behind must honor those that pass away. For me, that meant continuing my schooling and becoming a librarian. My mother was a librarian herself, you see.
Oh, I guess I never thought of that.
Thought of what?
Of what my mother would want me to do. I was too busy missing her to think about what she would want.
Well, what do you think she'd say about your current situation?
You mean about the ghost? I mean, Mr. Fidget?
Yes.
Well, pretty sure Mom wouldn't like him hanging out in her attic.
A fair point.
But I also know Mom would want me to help him. She was always helping people, and it would be pretty mean kicking him out right before Christmas.
Indeed.
What do you think I should do?
I think you should go tell your father, and then before you go home, I think you should bring him here to the library. I have an idea that might help.
Lynn felt much better talking to Miss Page, so she walked down to her dad's new job and met him just as he was punching out. On their way home, she told him everything and made a quick stop at the library to talk things through with her new friend, during which they hatched an ingenious plan. It's an hour later now, and Lynn is back in the house, standing before the tiny door that leads up to the attic, and she looks very resolute.
Mr. Fidget? Mr. Fidget, are you there?
I know what you're going to say, and I invoke the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah, there's no such law.
Well, now, how do you know? You're new in town.
I asked Miss Page at the library. She said there was no such law on the books.
No, you know Miss Page? No, peppermint sticks, then you know the whole story.
I know you were an inventor, and you had to give up this house.
Yes, that's true.
And I also know you used to go all out and decorate it for Halloween. And all the kids in town loved it. And you gave out full-size candy bars.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I love Halloween. And Christmas and all the holidays.
Were you really in a Halloween book?
Oh, of course. Just a slim little self-published volume, but they took plenty of pictures. They said my house was the best haunt within 50 miles.
Wow.
Mind you, I took it all down on All Saints' Day and went to work decorating for Christmas right away. Tree on each floor, computerized light display outside, robo-reindeer.
Oh, that reminds me. Miss Page gave me some legal advice concerning you.
She did. She's not supposed to do that.
It involves the spirit of Christmas.
Oh.
I am invoking subset B.
Yeah, you're invoking what?
I am invoking subset B of the spirit of Christmas, which says that if anyone is in real need, You must help.
Really? You mean you're not going to throw me out?
I'm going to invite you to dinner. You probably haven't had much to eat for a while, have you?
Oh, it's true. I won't deny it. Being stuck up here in the attic, I had to eat with whatever I had with me, and luckily I had a whole case of Ritz crackers. And can I tell you something?
What?
I am really sick of Ritz crackers.
Well, we don't have much yet, but there's a pizza downstairs.
Sold. So Mr. Fidget and Lynn went down to the living room, where he sheepishly introduced himself to Lynn's dad, who was understandably annoyed at the little man, but agreed to let him stay for dinner. It was there, over pepperoni on paper plates, that Lynn and her father got Mr. Fidget's whole story. How he struggled to come up with a successful invention, how hard he'd work on keeping his house festive at every time of the year, and how he eventually decided to hatch the harebrained scheme of hiding in the attic and trying to scare away the house's new owners.
That was pretty harebrained, you know.
Yeah, I know. Or at least I can see it now.
I ought to send you to jail.
Dad, the spirit of Christmas!
But I'm not going to, because as my daughter points out, it's Christmas.
Well, that's certainly very kind of you, and I admit you'd be well within your rights to put me away.
You can stay a little while, but you have to find a place of your own eventually.
Yes, I know.
Dad!
What is it, sweetie?
We have a ton of extra bedrooms.
No, young lady. I couldn't impose. Not after everything I've done. Besides, if I'm to continue my work, I need some room to spread out in.
You mean like that shed in the garden?
Yes. I always meant to do something with that shed. It'd make a good workshop.
That it would. Or an apartment.
Come again?
Well, I noticed you wired that place up all to code, and there's room above the joists for sleeping quarters.
Dad, you're speaking carpenter again.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah, I just got on at the mill. I could insulate that shed, you know. Wouldn't even take that long. And with proper insulation, that wood stove would provide more than enough heat. All we'd have to do is plumb the place, add a little bathroom with a shower. I could do all that work in a few weekends.
You do all that for me?
I would.
Well, thank you, but if I may, why?
Well, truth be told, I have a few inventions myself that I'd like help developing.
Ah, my boy, now you're speaking my language. But before I can agree to such an arrangement, I feel I owe you an apology, Lynn.
You do?
Yes. My scheme to scare you away was silly and stupid, and it cost you a couple nights' sleep. And as such, I owe you a debt. I shall design and build you whatever you want.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary.
No. I won't hear of it. Tell me, young lady, what do you like to do?
Well, I always kind of wanted to get into music.
How about a recording studio in one of the spare bedrooms?
Sure. But won't that be a lot of work?
Oh, that kind of work is fun. And besides, we can plan it all out over Christmas.
Plan it where? We still don't have our stuff.
Hey, look what's out on the drive.
Moving truck!
Right on time, too.
And so, finally, Lynn and Doug could move in properly. And with Mr. Fidget's help, they had the place properly decorated for Christmas in no time. And by, Mr. Fidget did indeed move into the newly remodeled shed, which they now call the cabin. And Lynn did get her very own recording studio. And eventually they became a family. A different sort of family, but a family just the same. And at every holiday of the year, Christmas included, 424 7th Street was the best decorated house in town. The end.
This has been A Ghost for Christmas, a holiday offering by the Icebox Radio Theater. Our stars were Linnea Yunt as Lynn, Jim Yunt as Doug, Diane Adams played Ms. Page, and Jeffrey Adams was Mr. Fidget and the narrator. Live sound effects created by Foley artists Katie Nelson and Evie Conant. The play was written and directed by Jeffrey Adams. Sound by Jeff McCard. Recorded live at Bacchus Community Center, International Falls on December 5th, 2020. This program created as part of the Bacchus Performing Arts Series. Learn more at bacchusab.org. And learn more about the Icebox Radio Theater at iceboxradio.org. Okay, and that was A Ghost for Christmas. Different sort of an offering recorded live at Bacchus Community Center just last year here in International Falls. And I think we're going to wrap things up here on O Christmas Stream with a fun piece as well. It's entitled Jens and Dougie's Christmas on Main Street. For several years here at the Icebox Radio Theater, we did a radio fundraiser on a local station entitled Calls to Santa. You probably heard something like it where area kids get to phone into a radio station and talk to Santa Claus live on the air. And it was a whole lot of fun all the years we did it, but of course we always incorporated a lot of Christmas music as well as an original play. And this Jens and Dougie's story was one of those plays. Now, Jens and Dougie, portrayed by Tom Bement and Harley Droba, were a couple of, shall we say, Northland characters who hung around a coffee shop and had a couple of different adventures. Awful lot of fun, and this was the only holiday offering they ever did. Also features a song by Ayla McIntosh, so I hope you enjoy that as well. So here is Harley and Tom along with Ayla and, of course, Victoria Olsen in Jens and Dougie's Christmas on Main Street on O Christmas Stream.
Hey, Cece, how about a refill?
Don't you think you've had enough, Dougie?
Oh, what are you talking about? This ain't a bar.
Yeah, but you start to yell when you've had too much caffeine.
What are you talking about, Jens?
Maybe you've had enough.
Oh, maybe I've had enough. Enough, yes.
Hey, what's wrong there, Cece?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, what's wrong there, Cece?
Dougie, take her down a notch.
Oh, all right. What's wrong there, Cece?
Nothing. Here's your refill, guys.
Oh, thanks, Cece. What do you got planned for Christmas?
I don't know. I guess I'll go play in the snow or something.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I remember this one time I made a huge snow fort for Christmas. Me and my cousin caught Jens in a crossfire and he had to go to the hospital.
That's terrible.
Oh, we were just kids and Jens went to the hospital a lot in those days.
It weren't my fault. I was scrawny.
You scrawny? You must weigh 300 pounds.
Well, I didn't then. Besides, Dougie is just jealous because I got to play hockey and his mommy wouldn't let him. Oh, that's how I got half those injuries.
Oh, I got more injuries sledding at Rainier Hill than you ever did at hockey.
Ice, snow, injuries. It's a miracle anyone lives through childhood in this town.
Oh, it was nothing to worry about. Just a scrape here, bruise there.
It is something to worry about. It's not safe living here all winter. It is not safe.
Well, what do you mean, Cece? We growed up here and we come out okay.
Well, you sound like you grew up in a barn.
Well, what's wrong with her?
You mean you two don't know?
What?
You spend all your time in this coffee shop and you can't see what's up with Cece? She's this way every Christmas.
Well, come on, Bill. We ain't mind readers.
You sure aren't. Look, it's Christmas Eve, right? And Cece is from the Philippines, way down south in the Pacific, where it's warm all year, including Christmas.
Oh, what a shame. Christmas is all about snow and Santa and the North Pole and stuff.
Christmas is about being at home with your family, and that poor woman's family is about 10,000 miles away. And I'll bet every time winter comes on, she thinks about that.
You mean Cece don't have any family closer than the Philippines?
You spend hours in here every day. Haven't you ever asked her about her family?
Well, we didn't want to pry.
Yeah, right. You know, boys, you spend so much time in here, you might be the closest thing to family Cece has in this town. I'd remember that if I were you.
Wow.
Oh, don't listen to old Bill. He's always trying to make me feel guilty about something.
He is?
Oh, sure. Oh, one time when I ran into his car in an accident, he tried to guilt me into giving him the name of my insurance company. Oh, can you believe that?
Oh, well, I don't know. He seems like a pretty smart guy.
Totally wasn't my fault. Hey, they shouldn't put the fries in the bottom of the bag where you can't reach them.
But Jens, think about this. What if she really doesn't have any family in town?
Well, I think she... doesn't she have a sister?
No, that one was here last summer, just came for a visit.
Well, then, don't worry so much. She's fine.
But look at this sign. She's keeping the Busy Bee Cafe open on Christmas.
Oh, sure she is. I'll probably come down for lunch about noon. The wife said we ain't having the turkey till 3 this year.
Oh, nobody's open on Christmas, Jens. Nobody that has a place to go.
Oh, well. What do you want me to do about it?
Oh, I got it.
Oh, no. You have an idea, don't you?
It's a beaut, too.
Oh, Dougie, whenever you have an idea, we always end up talking to a judge.
No, this is good.
Oh, I don't like judges, Dougie.
Oh, this is the best idea I've ever had.
They sure don't like me.
Quiet a second. Remember what Bill said about us being Cece's only family in town?
Oh, you're going to suggest we pay off our tabs, aren't you?
No, that'd be crazy. But we're going to do something better.
What?
We're going to get her a Christmas present.
Well, I suppose that would be nice. Oh, my wife's sister makes these really nice pot holders.
No.
Oh, wait till you see them. She takes pictures from magazines, irons them on these pre-made pot holders she buys from some catalog. Oh, she's got one with baby Jesus, and one with Santa, and even Brett Favre and Barack Obama. Oh, and they're only 98 cents.
No, that ain't it. Oh, we just can't get her any old Christmas present. We have to get her the perfect Christmas gift.
Why?
Oh, don't argue. Come on.
Oh, but it's snowing out.
This is the Icebox, Jens. If it's snowing, that means it's warming up.
Oof.
What great idea does Dougie have in mind? Tune in tomorrow at this time to find out on Jens and Dougie in Christmas on Main Street. Jens and Dougie, two of the funniest characters in Icebox, Minnesota, have decided to get their local coffee maven, Cece, the perfect Christmas gift. Out on a snowy Christmas Eve, Jens and Dougie come to the first store along Icebox's brightly lit main street.
Come on, Jens.
Oh, calm down. I'm right behind you. What are we doing here?
First stop on Main Street. It's the Icebox Tone Town.
I can see what it is. It's the old music shop. Oh, boy, I haven't been in here since I had to buy reeds for junior high band.
Oh, I didn't know you played in the band.
Oh, third chair alto sax for 5 straight years. Oh, boy, I hated that band teacher. Oh, what was her name? Mrs. Crochet. That was it. Wonder whatever happened to that old bat.
She retired and bought the music store.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Hello, Arthur. It's nice to see you again.
Arthur?
You remember me, Mrs. Crochet?
Of course.
Oh, but that was 30 years ago. Well, changed a bit.
Well, the faces slip my mind, Arthur, but I never forget an embouchure.
Oh, were you a fancier dresser then, Jens?
Quiet. It's good to see you again, Mrs. Crochet.
It's good to see you. I assumed you'd given up the saxophone since you haven't been in for reeds in 30 years.
Oh, I ain't given it up.
You haven't?
You haven't?
No, it still plays a very important part in my life.
Yeah, his wife planted daisies in it 3 summers ago.
Quiet!
Ow! Hey, quit elbowing me.
Just be quiet.
You just made me.
Boys?
Yes, ma'am.
That's better. Now, what can I do for you, Arthur?
Ask him. He started it.
Well, we're looking for a present.
I see. Does the party in question play an instrument?
Oh, I don't know about that, but she can sure make one of them espresso machines sing.
I don't understand.
Mrs. Crochet, we're just looking for a nice gift for Cece down at the Busy Bee. Dougie here figures she's lonely for home at Christmas and wanted to cheer her up.
Oh, I see. Well, that's very thoughtful, Dougie.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
But I'm afraid that without knowing Cece well, I cannot recommend a suitable gift for her. Unless...
Oh, do you think of something?
Perhaps. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you gave the gift of song?
The gift of what now?
Well, everyone appreciates music. You should regale your friend with carols. Arthur could play alto saxophone, and you young men could sing.
Sing?
That's a nice idea, Mrs. Crochet, but Miss Axe really is pushing up daisies.
Well, no matter. We have several fine instruments for sale or rent right here.
Oh, now you see what you got us into.
Oh, what do you mean? This is going to be great.
Oh, yeah? Oh, why don't you give us a song, Dougie?
Oh, okay. How about Jingle Bells?
Oh, sounds great.
Okay. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Stop!
Oh, what?
Please, in the name of John Philip Sousa, desist. Oh. Arthur, I begin to see your point about the validity of my suggested gift.
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps there is another possibility.
What does Mrs. Crochet have in mind? Tuned in tomorrow at this time to find out on Jens and Dougie in Christmas on Main Street. It's Jens and Dougie's Christmas on Main Street. In this episode, we find Jens and Dougie in the local music shop, where the shop owner and Jens's former music teacher has just thought of a good gift idea for Cece, the woman the boys are shopping for.
Arthur, I think I've thought of an excellent gift. Ayla! Oh, Ayla!
You called me Mrs. Crochet?
Hey, it's Ayla McIntosh.
Oh, you working here now, Ayla?
Oh, just part-time. What's happening, fellas?
Ayla, Arthur and his friend here have need of a song. I believe a Christmas song, correct, gentlemen?
Oh, that's the idea.
It's to be a gift for a friend. I thought perhaps you might be able to help them.
Well, I don't know. I guess I might be able to come up with something. Who's the friend?
It's Cece down at the Busy Bee.
Oh, sure, I know Cece. I think I know just the one.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Be together if the fates allow. Hang a shining star up on the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
That was lovely, Ayla.
Thanks, Mrs. Crochet.
Oh, sure was, Ayla. Thanks.
Hey, Jens.
What is it, Dougie?
Oh, I just thought of something. How are we going to wrap up a song?
Oh, well, I suppose we could wrap up Ayla.
Oh, no, I promised myself I'd never take a job where I got gift wrapped.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, maybe we should just keep shopping.
Oh, maybe you're right. Thanks there, Ayla. We'll see you later.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
Well, that was a bust. Oh, nice song, though.
Oh, sure was. But there's still more stores, Jens.
Oh, there better be. Oh, Christmas is getting closer and closer.
What's next for Jens and Dougie? Find out tomorrow at this time on Jens and Dougie in Christmas on Main Street. Jens and Dougie have been searching for the perfect Christmas gift for their best friend, coffee shop owner Cece, who's feeling a little homesick this Christmas. Yesterday's stop was the local music store. Where will Jens and Dougie stop next?
Can't believe you talked me into this.
Oh, come on. We'll get out of the storm and you'll feel better.
Oh, now what are we doing in here?
Oh, wow. I haven't been in this shop in years.
Oh, it's the toy store, Dougie.
I used to spend hours in here when I was a kid. Look, they got the Tower of Rubber Ducks and Robot Town and the Teddy Bear House of Representatives. Hey, it doesn't make any noise, see?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Teddy Bear what?
House of Representatives. Old Mr. Wilson, the store owner, used to make sure that there were bear for every member of Congress. And when he got one sold, he'd hold a special election to replace him.
Oh, wasn't that the guy? He was arrested for...
Oh, racketeering, yeah, but he said the bears led him down the wrong path.
Well, I suppose CC would like one of those here bears. Oh, how about this big group over there in the corner having a tea party?
No, that would break up a set. Besides, I don't think she's the stuffed bear type.
Okay. Well, how about a board game? Oh, look, they got Parcheesi, Monopoly, Snakes and Ladders.
Oh, I hate that game.
Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. I just never liked the idea of snakes on a board game.
What?
Oh, you apologized to me for hating that game, so I was explaining why I did.
Oh, no, I wasn't apologizing. I was saying the name of a game.
Snakes and Ladders.
Sorry.
I said Snakes and Ladders.
Sorry.
Is your hearing going bad, Jens?
I said sorry.
You don't need to apologize for it. Everyone loses their hearing at your age.
No, I'm saying the name of the game. It's sorry.
I agree. I was really glad when it came out with the newer version called Chutes and Ladders. It was a whole lot better.
Oh, Dougie, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Sorry?
No. Oh, on second thought, I don't think CC would like that.
She won't like what?
She won't like sorry.
Oh, I don't know. I've apologized to her a lot, and she's always seemed to appreciate that.
Never mind. What else they got?
Well, they got Scrabble, one of them checkers and chess combo sets. Hey, look at this!
What is that thing?
It's the new Box Station X Wii Edition. Oh, I didn't think these things were even out yet.
Oh, I really don't think Cece would like that.
All right, they got Morton Anderson football with the Freddy Krueger graphics engine. The injuries are now 23% more realistic, you know?
Oh, we gotta get moving, Dougie.
Here, take the other controller. It'll be fun.
I never know how to use these things.
That's why it's gonna be fun. Come on!
Oh, Dougie.
Oh, no, you kick off. You just hold down the A, B, and wiggle your joystick to the right.
Do what now?
That thing on the controller?
Oh, like this.
No! You just kicked it out of bounds. 5-yard penalty.
Okay. Like this.
Right, I said right. Oh, when you hold down the A, B, and go left, you vote no on the collective bargaining agreement. See how your team's walking off the field now? Oh, and now they're coming back with a bunch of picket signs.
Oh, so you win. Oh, good game, Dougie.
Oh, let's play another game.
We don't got time. We gotta get moving.
Look at this one. It's Attack of the Zombie Astronauts from the planet Swine Flu.
Oh, I really don't think Cece would like one.
Wow, look at the box. It's rated N for nobody. Here, take that controller.
Oh, all right. What do I do?
Well, first thing you got to do is get some ammo. You got to do that by shooting that box.
You shoot something to get ammo?
You pretty much shoot everything in this game. Next, we need food. Shoot that turkey lying on the ground.
Why is there a turkey lying on the ground?
Well, you need to eat for strength, so shoot it.
You want me to shoot it or eat it?
Well, you eat it by shooting it, see? There. Oh, look, a pretty girl wants to join our zombie hunting team. Shoot her to tell her she can.
I'm not shooting her. She only looks to be about 13.
Oh, I know. That's what makes her so dangerous. Oh, no. Here comes the zombies.
Oh, should I shoot them?
No, save your ammo. We got to use the chainsaw.
I really don't think Cece is going to like this game, Dougie.
Pew, pew. Got you, you living dead fiend from another world. Come on, Jens.
Oh, we got to find her a present.
Oh, no, this is fun.
Oh, Dougie, this was all your idea.
Just a few more minutes.
Oh, I knew it was going to be like this. You're all raring to go until something like that game comes along. Oh, then it's up to Jens. Fine.
Oh, wait, Jens. Jens, don't go away. Wait, Jens, please, wait.
Uh-oh, the boys are having a fight. Will they get it together in time to find Cece the perfect Christmas gift? Tune in tomorrow for the exciting conclusion to Jens and Dougie in Christmas on Main Street. Jens and Dougie are searching for the perfect Christmas gift for their best friend, coffee shop owner Cece, who's feeling a little homesick this Christmas. But after the last episode, the boys had a fight, and we find them now back on the street, snow falling all around.
Jens, wait up, Jens.
I ain't talking to you.
Oh, wait up a second.
Just don't talk to me.
Oh, Jens, what would you run off for?
Oh, like you don't know. You're always coming up with these crazy ideas, leaving me holding the bag.
Oh, getting Cece a Christmas present is not a crazy idea, Jens.
Oh, it is when you go to work on it. Oh, face it, Dougie. We don't got no idea what Cece would like for Christmas. She's just a gal that pours our coffee every day.
No, she isn't. She's our friend.
Well, if you're such a great friend, how come you got no idea what she'd like? We've been up and down the street. We got no better idea what to get her now than when we started.
Well, what's that?
Well, we're all the way down at the end of the street. There's the church, of course.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't think we came this far. Must be the candlelight service, huh?
Yeah, sure, about that time.
I wouldn't mind getting out of the cold yet.
Yeah, well, all right.
shepherds living out in fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were sore afraid. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news and tidings of great joy. For today in the town of David a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find the baby wrapped in clothes and lying in a manger." Suddenly a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, peace on earth and goodwill toward men."
Jens?
Yeah, Dougie.
I got another idea.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, come on. We got one more stop. And then we went to the toy shop.
Video game shop, more like it.
And then I thought for sure we weren't going to find anything. But then, well, we got a little inspiration. And we finally got an idea. Merry Christmas, Cece.
Boys, this is a plane ticket.
Oh, you bet. You won't be home for Christmas, of course.
Oh, it being Christmas Eve and all.
Hey, but we figure, hey, New Year's.
Oh, boys, thank you so much.
She's crying.
I know.
Is that because the present that we gave her?
It's fine, Dougie. She's happy.
Oh, it's hard to tell sometimes.
I know. Oh, Happy New Year, Cece.
Happy New Year, boys.
Oh, how was your trip?
Oh, it was wonderful. We all got together. I saw cousins I haven't seen in years.
Oh, I bet they were surprised to see you.
Oh, you just can't
family.
imagine.
That's cool.
Oh, it was wonderful to see them. My mama looked so good, and my papa was so surprised.
Jens and Dougie's Christmas on Main Street starred Harley Droba as Dougie, Tom Bement as Jens, Victoria Olsen as Cece and Mrs. Crochet, and featured the singing talents of Ayla McIntosh. And introducing in our production, Ellie Nelson as the Bible reader. Jens and Dougie's Christmas on Main Street was written and directed by Jeffrey Adams. Sound effects by Dave Irwin. This program copyright 2010 by the Icebox Radio Theater. All rights reserved. For more information, visit their website, iceboxradio.org.